What kind of
Miss Flukers came to the residence,
Flukers.
and her and a gentleman let themselves into the space.
Walker. Get it right.
When did she pick up her papers from you?
I'm assuming it was Wednesday.
All right. And you're a tenant and she's the landlord.
Yes.
All right. So in your lease, does it say they can go into your place?
Excuse me, Your Honor?
In the lease, does it say they can go into your place?
No, in the lease, it says prior notice and consent.
Ooh, I don't know about consent.
Well, Your Honor,
But all right, go ahead. She came over there yesterday, her and somebody else. Go ahead.
Right. And my housemate said he thought it was me. And I was not there.
Don't want to hear from, I want what you, not what your housemate says. You,
yes,
between you and this lady. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. And I usually when Miss Flukers is going to come and particularly let herself in, if I'm not there or the other tenant is not there, she does give prior notice, at least 24 hours. So she does do that.
Tell me about the stalking. It's supposed to be about stalking. Tell me about this.
Beginning in February, during the beginning of my tenancy, very good situation, beautiful home. Miss Flukers alerted me to the fact that she was going to be doing some repairs and some renovation. Sometimes I was here and she would ask me, did I mind, you know, a contractor to come? But a time came in about, I'd say May, where Ms. Fluker began coming over to the space very frequently, sometimes 3 times a week. At that point, I was not given notice. And at that point, I noticed she was just letting herself into the space without any notice at all. Now, I'm living here as a single man, and I felt uncomfortable with her letting herself in. There became a point where she began calling me incessantly. Your Honor, I uploaded.
Nope, you got to share your screen. You got to share your screen. Go ahead. Get out her stalking behavior. Please get out how she's stalking you.
I got you, Your Honor, and I know that you're.
By the way,
you have
he's
a lot
the
of people
tenant
to get
and
to.
she's the landlord.
Doesn't matter. I just want everybody to get to the point.
Right. And I noticed she was pulling up in the driveway and just sitting there watching the house. I would look through my window. I can see the driveway from my window, and she'd be just sitting in her car. And sometimes she'd be sitting in her car for an hour or 2 hours just staring at the house. One day I also noticed that she was going through the garbage cans. Now, Miss Fluker doesn't live that far from me, and I didn't understand why she was going through the garbage cans. And then from maybe, I'd say February of this year up until this date, sometimes she calls. I have the transcript. Sometimes she calls every day, 3 times a day.
Transcribed all the
where I became uncomfortable.
She is so thirsty.
And I brought it to her attention that the rent is taken care of, you know, the utilities is taken care of. I really do not want you calling me. One night, about 12:30 a.m. in the morning, she called. She called another 12:45 a.m. Then she called 1 a.m. and that one I did answer. And she told me she was stuck at the airport and she would like me to come and get her. And I was a little bit concerned because I'm a tenant. She has at least 3 properties. And I was wondering why she was calling me rather than AAA. I went to the airport.
One of those could have been yours if you played your cards right.
And then she asked me to follow her back in because she wasn't sure where she was.
Allegedly.
Your Honor, the tenancy has not really had a problem. I've been here 2.5+ years. She was always cordial. She was always helpful. Again, whenever she had to come to the property, she would give me notice, at least 24 hours notice. But when I started noticing her sitting in the driveway, staring at the property, it was about, I'd say, 5 occasions. And then she was going through the garbage, which made me pretty uncomfortable. So the point came where she continually called. And there was a point where she continually came over and sat at the driveway. And I felt uncomfortable with it.
Damn it,
I actually was fearful of my safety, particularly when I viewed her going through the garbage cans. The garbage.
How did that make you fearful for your safety? Her and your
the combination of the sitting in the driveway, along with the going through the garbage, I felt uncomfortable.
Safe travels.
Don't stop now. I'm getting excited.
All right.
Maybe she was recycling. Did you ever think about
Grimace
that?
Lucas.
Your Honor, I wrote you a letter describing the situation.
I don't need a letter. I don't need a letter. I need you to testify.
Okay. Mr. Williams.
Good luck. Her internet's crap.
Room,
She's dead.
and I have another tenant. He has been good about paying the rent, but he has been delinquent on the utilities, which is part of the lease agreement that he paid the utilities.
Died in 2021. Gregory Edward Jacobs, by the way.
Look, I don't want to say he's trying to play up and kiss up to the judge. Oh, that's a nice car, Creed.
This is actually kind of neat. I'm sorry, I'm over here watching this. I do watch this from time to time. It's when they so these lasers, that's how they check everything. It's inspection before the races. It's in Texas live right now.
Well, if they didn't cheat so damn much, Creed, they wouldn't have to do this.
Oh, it's true. You ought to see all the lasers and shit, though. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, back to court.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's trying to play up to her, but he is wearing a rainbow solidarity pin on his shirt. I don't know if that's
get something right.
Yeah, I think if she is into him, she may be sniffing up the wrong tree.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I do not sit in the driveway. I'm far too busy to sit in the driveway. What I do is I come and use the recycler trash can because I don't have one at my home. And I don't have time. I don't stalk anybody. It was not until I
put
called
her trash in his trash can
to
recycling,
pay for the utilities that are delinquent for the last 2.
Look at this real quick. I just want to say all these lasers. It's like a party in there.
I said my dude. I heard Timothy was going to run up in there and start dancing.
Isn't this crazy? That's how they're measuring everything. It's nuts when this thing does its thing.
Timothy behind on utilities. Damn it, Timothy.
This is a weird one, by the way.
Yeah, look at the judge's face. She's even perplexed.
I know. She's kind of, because.
Yes, have I asked him to pay his unpaid utilities? I have called him. He does not respond. I have emailed him. I have submitted copies of
we had that
email
one guy in town
that I sent to him requesting that payment. He told me he was a vet and he was having some financial difficulties and he would get it to me when he could. And I always paid for the utilities, but he never could give me any commitment as to when he would honor that. I can no longer support him in his utilities. And in an effort to not have them turned off for the other tenant, I paid them. I suggested to him, because I am an educator and a healthcare provider, that if he couldn't afford the utilities, that he could transfer it into his name and get some assistance, being a vet with paying his utilities. So he opted to do that, and that started in September. He now owes me over $600.
Is Judge Manning texting someone?
The receipts and utilities.
No, I don't need that. You don't have a counterclaim. Do y'all realize this isn't like dispossessory court, right?
Yes, Your Honor. I understand that.
And I am not a violent person. And he's doing
tell me why he would say you're hanging outside of his house hours at a time.
Because he's a liar.
Oh, there you go.
And
I have no reason.
how do you not have a recycling can at your house?
Because in East Point, they don't provide them. And the other house that I own is in Atlanta and they provide them for free. In East Point, you have to pay for them.
But you don't want to pay for a recycling can. You'd rather spend the gas money to take your recycling to East Point.
The house is around the corner, sir. Ma'am. 10 minutes.
So you live in East Point. He lives in, so you rather still spend the gas money to put your recycling in your car, take it to East Point or take it to the city and put it in his recycling can.
That's what I've been doing. It was never a problem till he became a delinquent in his utilities, and I had to make multiple calls,
starting to think now
to try to get him to pay for the utilities.
Run his utilities in his own name. Rental property I had, you had to get your utilities in your own name.
I just stated that we just transferred him to, because I have other tenants, and if he leaves, I have to restart the utilities. The utilities were in my name up until September 1.
Now they're in his name.
Yes.
How'd you put them in his name?
I canceled my the service in my name and said it would be transferred to my tenant. And he agreed to that. I have a letter to the effect that he requested it because he knew he could get assistance.
I'm sorry. I gotta pause this. This guy ASG just popped on. I want you to see iPhone. He's got an iPhone, but Althea, if she stops moving, has one of the best shots. Like it is like, look at that.
Oh,
it's like motion picture quality.
Maybe she's a Instagram model.
We ever been to DeKalb State Court Division 5 virtual arraignments?
No, I don't believe we have.
Because Judge Mike Jacobs doesn't even look familiar. Anyways, back to this crazy case. By the way, I seriously think that is winning.
Yeah, because she just looks like a nutcase that she's driving around her garbage in the car instead of just getting a can.
Real quickly, and we'll go back to this. It's live, but we're just paused it a little bit. I want to know one thing in the chat, who you guys think, because I'm believing Tim. Now, I do believe that this is definitely a statement. But I think that she's flucking. I said flucking with an L. Yeah. Crazy. What do you guys think? Are we?
I think she's I think she's definitely a nutcase for sure.
I think she is, and I think there's one. By the way, members only at 6. I think we're going to learn about orange juice. It's going to change your life.
Creed says he's got a big conspiracy he's going to throw on us. So
I'm telling you, it's kind
looking
of
forward to it.
Shit, he just moved. This guy down here, Michael S. Webb. He was just like this with his eye closes.
I don't think his eye opened back up.
It hasn't. He needs a eye patch like the last guy.
Yeah, she's crazy. Let's go back and see what happens. I think she's going to throw it out, but I think this lady is crazy.
Yeah, I think she's gonna throw it out too.
Anything else? Anything else, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I have visited Miss Fluker's home. She has sometimes asked me to come over to her place to help her out. Small things like the lawn. She actually has both trash cans. She has an East Point regular trash can and she has a recyclable can. And I swear to that under the penalty of perjury. There's no reason for her to go through.
Ill-informed. If you know anything about this,
okay, both of you stand by because I'm like, I hate being late and I'm 15 minutes letting these other people in. I'm gonna let these folks in. I'll come right back. We're gonna finish this up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh my God, stand by. All right.
Yes, Your Honor. I really want to tax the court's time. I have a couple of witnesses who can.
Tell me what you're asking for. Tell me what you're asking for.
I'm just asking for a temporary restraining order. I've got 2 witnesses standing outside.
Okay, and what does that mean to you? What does that mean? You want her to stay away from you? What do you want?
Yeah, I just want her to stay away from me.
Just get the hell away.
I just want her to stay away from me. And if she does have to come, because she did tell me she was going to do some renovation to the property. She said there's a possibility that she might
Please
want
like
to
this video, by the way.
in the future. But going through my trash and possibly standing on the trash can to look into my window, that makes me fearful of my life, Your Honor.
Ms. Fluker, go ahead. Anything you want to say?
Her face.
Absolutely. I have provided the evidence that I sent Mr. Williams an email that I was going to be there to replace a fixture that was broken. And I entered I knocked first. The other tenant didn't answer the door. He got I have provided you with a copy of the email that I sent him.
Ma'am, I don't look at evidence until you share your screen and you present it.
I'm sorry?
I don't look at anything that you think you've emailed to the court. You have to.
Oh, no, I sent it to your Dropbox.
Doesn't matter, ma'am. I don't look at that. You have to present it. In there, it also says you have to follow the rules of evidence. You have not presented anything.
Okay, I don't have the technical skills to do that. This man is lying about me. I brought a man to do a repair. He called
I'm
the
an old
police
school stalker.
on the man. The man has been there multiple times, and he knew the man, and wasting taxpayers' resources because he doesn't want to pay for his utilities.
He needs to
And
move.
it is a problem for him to be
Time to
present
move.
as a tenant, and I can't enter to do repairs for a year.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in place for 6 months. You can still contact him only as landlord tenant. That means email.
That's all I do.
If you guys are going to argue about what's in a lease, y'all could take that up in another court, but not here. Ma'am, don't sit outside of his house. Text him, email him only for the purposes of telling him that somebody's coming to work there and do work on the property. He can send you his rent. You can tell him it's past due only as it occurred, only as it falls in guys with handling landlord tenant issues. Got it?
Got it, Your Honor.
Both of you put your emails in the